Hi everybody, welcome back. In last lecture, we were discussing about the macro state and micro state of a system. The macro state, it is the specification of the actual values of the parameters, the macroscopic parameters, the number of particles, the volume, the energy of the system, and that defines the macro state of the system. So that is a macro state of the system. So we specify the bulk parameters, the number of particles, volume and energy. And then, for a given macro state, there will be a large number of different ways in which the macro state can be achieved, can be realized, because the total energy, in this case the total energy is simply a sum of total energy is simply a sum of n single particle energies. That is written by this equation. E equal to sigma I n I epsilon I. So the total energy is simply sum of the single particle energies. So there are a large number of different ways in which this total energy E can be realized. The only condition or restriction is this should be constant, this should be fixed. Various combinations of this Ni are possible to get this total energy E, and each of these different ways actually forms a microstate or complexion of the given system. So each of these different states specifies a microstate or complexion of the given system. So we consider an important postulate with regard to the statistical mechanics, or with respect to the microcanonical ensemble, something that we are going to see later. Actually, what we are discussing now is the microcanonical ensemble, a system in microcanonical ensemble. We will see more about it in the later videos. An important postulate is the equal a priori probability. What it says is, to a given macro state of the system, in general there corresponds to a large number of microstates. There will be a large number of microstates. And if there are no constraints acting on the system, at any time t, the system is equally likely to be in any one of these microstates. So if there is no constraint acting on the system can be in any one of these microstates, and the probability is equal. This is what the postulate of equal a priori probability is telling us. So if there are no constraints at any time t, the system is equally likely to be in any one of these microstates. So the system in a given microstate can be in any one of the microstates, and the probability is same for all microstates. And this assumption forms the backbone of the formalism. And this is, as I said, this is the postulate of equal a priori probabilities. Now, if all the microscopic states have the same probability, all the microscopic states have the same probability, then the probability of a given macrostate, that will be proportional to the number of microstate it contains. So the probability for the system to be in a given macrostate, that is proportional to what the number of microstate that it contains, because all microstates have the same probability. And we use a symbol omega, which is a function of number of particles, volume and energy, to represent the total number of microstates in a given macrostate. So omega, that is an important quantity to us, it gives us the total number of microstates in a given microstate. Now we explore the contact between the statistical mechanics, the statistics, and the thermodynamics. Okay, so for that we are considering two physical systems. Okay, we are considering two physical systems, A1 and A2, which are separately in equilibrium. They are in equilibrium. We have two systems, A1 and A2. A1 has number of particles N1, volume V1, energy E1. A2 has number of particles N2, volume V2 and E2, and they are separately in equilibrium. Now what we are going to do is, we are putting them, bringing them into thermal contact. Okay, we are bringing them into thermal contact. Remember that A1 has omega 1, which is a function of N1, V1 and E1, possible microstates, and A2 has omega 2 of N2, V2, E2, possible microstates. So these are the number of microstates for this system, and this is the number of microstates for this system. And these are the macrostates of the two systems. Now the two systems are in thermal contact, that is, there can be exchange of energy between the two systems. So the two systems can exchange energy. Okay, now as they exchange energy, the two systems are separated by a rigid wall so that their volume cannot change. This wall is rigid, that is, it is immovable, so volume cannot change. The number of particles also cannot change because the particles cannot cross this separation. Okay, so the volume V1 and V2 and the particle numbers N1 and N2, they remain fixed. But since they are in thermal contact, there can be exchange of energy between the two systems. So E1 and E2 can change, but N1 V1 and N2 V2 are fixed. Okay, and as E1 and E2 is changing, there is actually a condition which restricts their variation. The condition is E1 plus E2 is a constant. E1 plus E2, that is equal to E0, is a constant because we assume that the two systems are thermally insulated from the surroundings. That is, no energy can flow from the system to outside or from outside to the systems. They are thermally insulated. So what that means, E1 plus E2, E0, that is a constant. Okay, where E0 is the energy of the composite system, the total energy of the composite system. Now at any time t, system A1 can be in any one of the omega 1 and 1 V1 E1 states, and system A2 can be any one of the omega 2 and 2 V2 E2 states. Equal a priori probabilities. Okay, then the composite system is equally likely to be in any one of the states omega 1 E1 into omega 2 E2. It will be product of these two. Okay, this system can be in omega 1 states and this can be in omega 2 states independent of this. Only condition is E0 equal to E1 plus E2, E2 equal to constant. So the probability for the composite system or the composite system is equally likely to be in any one of the omega 1 E1 into omega 2 E2 states. This can be written as omega 1 E1 into omega 2 E0 minus E1 because E2 is E0 minus E1 because E1 plus E2 is E0. So this is omega 0 E0 E1 microstate. Now there will be exchange of energy between the two systems A1 and A2 until the two systems are in equilibrium. Okay, they were in equilibrium before. They had different energies E1 and E2, and once they are put into thermal contact, there will be exchange of energy, and the there will be variation of E1 and E2, and the two systems will finally settle down onto an equilibrium state by exchanging the energy. Now the question is, at what value of E1 the composite system will be in equilibrium? Okay, the answer is this will happen at the value of E1 which maximizes the number omega 0. Omega 0 is the number of microstates for the composite system. This is omega 0. Omega 1 E1 into omega 2 E2, that is omega 0. And the composite system will be in equilibrium at the value of E1 which maximizes this. Okay, so the philosophy behind this statement is a physical system which is left to itself, okay, spontaneously it proceeds in a direction, naturally in a direction that enables it to assume an ever increasing number of microstates. Okay, this is something we observe. If a physical system is left to itself, okay, if it is free to change its variable, then it will always proceed in such a direction that it enables it to assume an ever increasing number of microstates. This is an important concept in statistical mechanics until it finally settles down in a macro state that has the largest possible number of microstates. Okay, and this is the most probable macro state. So if a system is free to change its macro state, the system will spontaneously, naturally, will try to change the macro state in such a way that the number of microstates increases. Okay, continuously it increases until it finally settles down in a macro state that has the largest possible number of microstates. So this is an important thing, important concept or important concept that we see in statistical mechanics. And this state is called most probable macro state. Another thing is the number of microstates corresponding to any macro state that is slightly departing from this equilibrium or the most probable macro state is orders of the number of microstates for that is orders of magnitude smaller than the number of microstates of the most probable one. Okay, this is also observed. The number of microstates for a macro state with even slightly departs, slightly changes from the most probable macro state has the number of microstates orders of magnitude much less than, smaller than the number of microstates of the most probable one. Okay, so because of that, the most probable state of a system is a macro state in which the system spends overwhelmingly large fraction of its time, because the number of microstates for the most probable one is so huge compared to even the macro states which slightly departs from the most probable macro state. So this macro state will be the equilibrium state of the system. Okay, so the most probable state of the system will be the equilibrium state of the system. In the equilibrium, the system will remain for a very long time. Okay, system actually settles down in the equilibrium state, and that actually corresponds to the most probable state in the statistical mechanics, the most probable macro state, which has the maximum or the largest possible number of microstates. So equilibrium state of a system has the largest possible number of microstates, or it is the most probable state. So this is a very important concept in the statistical mechanics.